It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood. Neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you. So let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Won't you please? Please, won't you please? Please, won't you be my neighbor? All right, well, howdy, everyone. Both friend and foe alike. I didn't take too long to practice that all, actually. I know that song by heart. So, here's the deal. Something that I was picking up on the discussion board last sort of week and this weekend and everything like that. Here's what I didn't tell you about Kierkegaard last week. See, Kierkegaard also said, as soon as you label me, you erase me. That's how against stickers he was, right? Soon as you put labels on me, I no longer am a person to you. I am my stickers. But here's the thing. I kind of think that there is a value to labels. I know. Shocker. But I also agree with the danger of them. And that, I think, at least, is what he was getting at. The fine line between the two. See, on one hand, those labels, they can serve to help you not only better understand yourself, but to find connection. Think about if anybody that struggles with depression or any sort of anxiety struggle or things like that. Think about before you knew what it was, right? Kind of like if you have poor eyesight. If you didn't know your eyes were going bad, you would just think, oh, trees are supposed to look like you draw them like a kid. From a distance, you're not supposed to see the different leaves. I think there are helpful benefits to labels. That there can potentially be something that helps you know yourself because you did not have the words prior to it. And again, to find connection. But on the other, yeah, I agree how very easy it is for us to dismiss someone simply because of their label. Whether it's a label we've put on them, or it's a label they've put on themselves. And this goes both ways. How dismissive of you are you because of the labels you put on you? Whether it's a label someone else has put on us, or whether it's a label we put on ourselves. So it's always a matter of towing that line and finding that tightrope walk between what helps, what actually fuels genuine connection, again, between substance, and what easily creates or instigates a reason for disconnection. What fuels and perpetuates and continues a cycle of stickerdom, so to speak. And we discussed and touched on last week with Guy Debord, The Society of the Spectacle. Now, this dude wrote this book back in the 50s, okay? But it still matters today. Effectively, what he stacked on was it used to be that existence, being, was the most important. And then we transitioned to having. Having became more important than just being. It wasn't just about existing, it was about having. It was more important that you have. And the natural progression of that is, well, how do you convey that you have? You have to show it, which in turn becomes about appearances. So the final stage of the society of the spectacle is it's all about appearances. It's all about solely how you look, not who you truly are, and not even what you have, just how you look. It's the most important. Have you ever heard of something called the Instagram effect, or things you see on Facebook where people just post all the pictures that like are them on their best days, right? Even the hashtag no makeup sort of things are things to convey an image or an appearance of yourself, a sticker. And we're not just talking profile filters or stuff like that, right? Literally what you manifest, or things like in Miami, they have those kits where you can put on your car and make it look like a Maserati, and then you take off the muffler or something so it sounds like it's a really heavy engine where it's like but it's not. It's the muffler's off, it's disconnected, but it looks like a powerful car, even though really it's a I don't know, Honda Civic underneath it. It's about appearance. So why bring that up? Well, it's the same with ethics. A society of glaucons. A society where it's more important to look like you're moral, to appear moral. Appearing over being moral or having morals. We relate to the appearance. We relate to the spectacle more than we do the actual substance of a person, right? And we got into that, and you guys did on your discussion board this weekend. How much is it that it's your actual stickers that engage with other stickers? And how much do you actually engage? We have the appearance of connecting. We simply relate not to substance, but more often than not to appearances. How often in the news was that these past 4 years has it been this like, oh, this is it, we got Trump, and you're like, yeah, or you're like, friggin' libs, like, ugh, like whatever the feeling may be. Did we ever actually get him? No. But you felt emotion based on something you don't know. So, what does this have to do with what we're studying now? Well, if this is how we engage in general, if what we do is we make the most of our social perspective, we make the most out of our appearance, out of what it looks like, particularly online, our appearance on social media or things like that has value. It's almost currency, right? Our social standing is in effect almost like currency. The more social standing you have, the more currency you have. I just found out that on Twitter, if you have a blue check mark, you can modify or narrow your notifications to only other blue check marks, right? That blue check mark was everything, and it lets you then filter out everybody that doesn't have a blue check mark. So how does this relate? Well, if this is our general method of engaging, that we tend to relate more with the spectacle, we tend to engage not with Kierkegaard's authentic self, but in fact with the stickers, our stickers and someone else's stickers, right? Well, if this is how we engage in general, then how is it any different than how we engage in politics and government? Are you actually, with 100% certainty, involved? Is your true substance involved and engaged in politics and formation of laws and the governments? Or is it all just relating to the spectacle? Is it all a method of maintaining the status quo of looking like you're engaged? Is it all just about appearances? Is it more about your stickers, your political involvement, than actually being involved? So, if you were to ask me, well, Reverend, Christian, compost, whatever, what'd you do this weekend? Besides grading your papers, I had a very enthralling weekend. Now, a little backstory. I'm on Twitter, and I usually use Twitter very little, normally for just like non sequiturs, and mostly to post links to messages and sermons or things like that I've wrote that are on my website. Essentially linking to lengthy pieces on my website to post meaningful, thoughtful, vulnerable blips in and of themselves. What else do I use Twitter for? To convey probably my continued and increasing appreciation for Maggie Mae Smith, or to bring up random stories about my kids. But this weekend, well, for the past couple weeks actually, I've been trying to toy with goading people on to a little bit. Jumped into the J.K. Rowling just in my own weird way, trying to do, I want to say, a Twitter experiment. Because my thought is, much like we discussed last week with stickers on water bottles and bumper stickers, what I wanted to convey was, can you truly connect with someone and claim to know them based on their stickers? I talked about that with bumper stickers on a car. I talked about that with, can you truly claim to know someone by their bumper stickers on their car? Now, again, I don't have Facebook. So anybody familiar with Twitter, you have a blip of a bio that you can say, right? You can give information or nothing. Can you know someone truly by their bio? Can you truly claim to know someone by their tweets? Or is it just like bumper stickers? So this weekend, I decided to still keep fishing, see if I could do something. And boy, did I. More than I ever would have extensively thought. So randomly, I decided, hey, what's another thing that I could tentatively get into? What could I start? And really test out this theory of, can you know someone based on their stickers? And the same goes for online media presence, particularly social media. Can you really know someone through social media presence, especially on stuff where it's just the blips, right? Alex, I may just be low-key writing your final paper for you right now, or at least giving you a good amount to start it. But here's the thing. Can you really claim to be engaging in anything other than, well, the spectacle, the appearance of morality, the appearance of who you are, your stickers, like Glaucon said, like Kierkegaard alluded to. So here's the deal. Me, a relative nobody online, doesn't get the types and amounts of massive engagement when it comes to anything personal or vulnerable, or anything of me attempting to convey substance of me. You can look me up, look on Twitter, anything that is me being genuine, me being that sort of, here's something I truly want to share, doesn't get that type of engagement. So yesterday, I decided to keep testing it. Like I said, I tested it with the J.K. Rowling, and I tested it yesterday. Yeah, basically, I'm bored and I wanted to start beef. So I randomly started beef with Dean Cain on Twitter. If you don't know who Dean Cain is, I want to say that he was my Superman growing up, to be honest. I just missed the Christopher Reeves. I love those movies, but I just missed that. So Dean Cain was Superman, as he played Superman in The Adventures of Lois and Clark. And Clark Kent, obviously, he played both. So I decided to start some beef. Here's the thing. I will read you exactly what I said. I tested the water with one thing, mostly, so this stemmed, backstory, this stemmed sort of from a mix of, I had a student that had asked me who my influences were over the weekend. Why did I want to get into teaching and that sort of thing? And so I told him, actually, it's weird, one of the big things was Dwayne Wayne, a character from the show A Different World, which was a spinoff of, The Cosby Show. So, Dwayne Wayne went to school, he did math, I minored in math for a bit because, again, that influence. Dwayne Wayne was like, he became a professor at the school, and I was like, that's me. So, was remembering some old A Different World, this is what I tweeted. Remembering when @RealDeanCain played a racist frat boy on A Different World that spray painted the N-word on Ron's car and then got into a fight only when Ron and Dwayne tried to stop him from finishing his vandalism of the N-word. And then I kept going. Now I'm just wondering which fictional character he played on TV he's actually aligning with these days. And you might go, that doesn't make sense. Well, there was a whole thing of he had a whole thing about Superman and what could and couldn't be said these days. So he was already in the sort of Twitter sphere of much like J.K. Rowling kind of still is, but again, my J.K. Rowling tweets, nothing, no real engagement there. I got 2 comments, a retweet, and 12 likes. All right. Again, and that was how many weeks ago? That was June 29th. So before we started. So then I find a clip of Dean Cain's little sort of acting, what he was acting in, his lines and what he said. So I found a clip and I posted it and said, hey, @RealDeanCain, is this you? And quoted the lines. And then, just for good measure, to see how much I could really, really hook people, I included Charlie Kirk. Again, trying to spread the net as wide as I could. You can go through my Twitter feed and see, just as I said, which parts are me genuinely sharing something I feel important, and non sequiturs or things about my kids. You will rarely see me engage in some sort of thing. But this clip and this tweet, the clip has been viewed almost 70,000 times. There is 25,000 impressions and there is 17,000 engagements. That's literally people that have clicked and commented and liked and then clicked on me and clicked on my bio and commented and did all of those things. It's literally on there. But what you can see, and it's still going, it's still going. There is so much interaction. And the thing is this was all a matter of trying to do something in which things took off unexpectedly. This was trying to do something to at least go with what we've been learning about with the Society of the Spectacle and with authentic self and that engagement. I kind of half worried that there would be a bunch of people tuning in today, not because I'm important, but because based on that tweet, I saw this dramatic uptick in visits to my website, to the YouTube channel, to this YouTube channel. I saw this engagement. But is this me? No. And that was the point I wanted to make and never thought that it would be this intense. As I said, a relative nobody online. And I don't get the types of and amounts of massive engagement when it comes to anything I share that's personal or vulnerable or attempting to convey the substance of me. But then I actively participate in the spectacle. I actively attempt to engage with stickers. Engage on a shallow level. I don't know Dean Cain. Personally, I can't say anything. And I don't know any of those people. They don't know me. I don't know them. But this is the amount of engagement I received off of engaging in the spectacle. And if, as I said last week, a characteristic of human nature is our longing to be seen and recognized, if that is an inherent characteristic of every single one of us, well, what do you think the comparison of engagements would teach me? When I'm truly attempting on social media, when I'm truly attempting to convey me, and I get nothing, am I seen when I'm truly attempting to be me and vulnerable and share? Or am I more so seen when I engage in what's fake, in what isn't real? When I participate in the spectacle and the stickers and the appearances? What do you think this whole exercise would seem to reinforce? What do you think it's telling me how I should engage with society as reinforced by that society? If I'm longing to be seen and the me that I'm trying to be, the substance, goes unnoticed, but I troll someone and get ridiculous views, do you think I would want to lean down that path? because it gets me the attention. It gets me seen. It doesn't get my substance seen, but what it does is reinforce a shallow seeing. Whether you're seen or your stickers are seen, something is going to be reinforced. And if society reinforces that stickers are important, then are you ever going to try and strive to reveal who you really are? Or are you going to continue to engage in the spectacle? What will shift and become the most important? If society reinforces that appearances and engaging in the spectacle are what get you seen, then what are you going to engage in? Probably the spectacle. And so, what does it teach me about the other aspects of society? What does it reinforce? What does it really teach me about my involvement in not just social media or social interaction, but my involvement in government, in politics? Does it reveal a society that really concerns itself with genuine substance? Or is it really only the stickers, the appearance, the spectacle that is what really matters? And so if this is a case with society and social interaction, how is it any different when it comes to your political and government involvement? Are you truly seen? The true and genuine you, your substance. Are you truly seen politically? Is your true voice what's actually not just heard, but listened to when it comes to politics and policy and government? Do you actually have a voice, and does your voice matter? Do you actually matter? Or is it just your stickers that matter? Wow, that's quite a start to that afternoon special. For access to the full video, or to get the full course, or just support me making new content that has everything or nothing to do with what you just watched, head on over to my Patreon, link in the bio. Join the community. I'd love to see you there and have you become a part of something bigger than me, but something where I can play my part just the same. See you there.